Jesus Christ.
The great experiment begins.
Uh-huh.
You guys ready?
Let me get all this out. There we go.
All right.
Summer girls in summer dresses.
Hey, Internet! Welcome back to Highway 47 Productions. We are with you tonight for another... No, crap. It may not be night where you are. I'm sorry. But whatever it is.
Well, I mean...
It's night for us, so deal with it. And we are here with another commentary for The Orville, doing Season 1, Episode 3, About a Girl. And this is Take 2, as we had our first hardware data loss incident. And we recorded this like a week and a half ago. And it's now like 3 days before it has to go out live. So...
that's okay, because I can't remember any of what I said before.
That's good, I think. Actually, I remember it being a pretty good recording. But that's fine. We'll make an even better one now. And making that recording is me, Shaggy B, as always. With me is Draco Funk. How's it going, Draco?
Hey, it's going.
It is going. And Scrodrick on a brand new microphone that he put his own money into like a boss. How's it going, Scrodrick?
Oh, it's going good. So it's going to be a real weird transition back to, the next episode, because that is on my old equipment. And then there's actually going to be a slightly different setup moving forward because I'm traveling right now. So it'll be even more different once I'm back at my place.
So you're going to hear Scrodrick through many different filters and in many different rooms with hopefully a microphone that is good enough to tell us, the difference in between where he is from one place to another. Maybe.
And I'm on crappy earbuds, so I don't know.
Yeah, right. You sound great, but you can hear nothing.
Yes.
Anyway, we are doing the Orville, the Orville. I was like, which show is it? The Orville, Season 1, Episode 3, About a Girl. And I had a question for you guys that I thought of that I thought that each of us is poised to answer fairly well, because both of the three of us have been, but all of us have at different points in our lives taken on alternative appearance styles, and so I wanted to know if you guys, okay, let me rephrase this.
I don't know where you go with this, man.
Okay, what's the at different times in your life, and like we're all men who have at one time or another, some of us for most of or all of our lives, and some of us not much of our lives, have had very long hair. I mean, I
was afraid you were going like cross-dressing and all that, and I'm like,
No, we don't have to get into that. The episode will do that for us.
So when I needed extra money and used to go to the truck stop.
That's right. No, what I was going to ask is did you ever notice people treating you differently based on the way you presented yourself, as with a ponytail or with regular old long hair or something else? Like, how much have you seen that your presentation of your appearance has affected the way other people regard you?
Well, when I used to work at a grocery store, and occasionally, I'd have it tucked underneath my hat because I had to wear a hat.
Your ponytail. Let's be clear. Okay. Because who knows what you were talking about? Like, my extra nose,
Yeah, I'd have my hair in a ponytail and tucked up underneath my hat, and people would come up to me and say, "Excuse me, ma'am." And whenever they do that, I turn around and use my lowest voice. How can I help you? And
to clarify, you've had a goatee for how long?
What year is it?
2018.
Probably about 20 years.
Yeah, I thought so. So you definitely had it then, right? Right. Scrodrick, you want to go next?
Well, professionally, I think people were kind of on board with it because I did it short term. I noticed I was losing my hair, so I was like, well, I've never done it and I won't have an opportunity to do it again. So, and I kind of, stated my intentions because I ended up donating my hair when I was done, but there was one occasion that, markedly I was treated differently, but it's more a funny story than anything. Mm-hmm. But I was taking care of a person with dementia.
Oh,
So And he was very respectful the whole time. Like, he very properly addressed everyone. But, I also have facial hair. So I'd be facing him. And every time he'd need something, sir, could you do this? And I would like turn around and he would see my ponytail. Ma'am. And it got to the point where like I called one of the nurses into the room just kind of like discreetly. And I'm like, hey, check this out. And he'd be like, sir, and I'd turn around, ma'am, and I'd turn around again, sir, ma'am, and he didn't catch what he was doing.
That is pretty good.
So yeah,
that's really good.
And I had maybe a couple people, look down on me because I, not full disclosure, but at least some disclosure. I do some emergency medical procedures, and I've had some people kind of make a snide comment, and I'd say, oh yeah, I just had a relative pass away from cancer, so I'm going to donate it for people that need wigs, and they kind of shut their mouth. So
as they should
yeah.
Well, as Scrodrick definitely knows, and Draco, you've been told, I'm sure. I had the double whammy of I had very long hair from as soon as I was old enough to grow it out. My mother wanted it on me until I finally cut it when I was 19. And I kept it short through various different styles, excuse me, through my 20s. And then I grew it back out again when I was about 28 or 29, when again, I also noticed that I was losing my hair. And I figured if I'm not going to do it now, I'm never going to be able to again. And between that and growing up in a particularly intolerant small town in the Midwest.
I only laugh because I know.
You were there for a lot of the things that happened.
Oh, yeah. I will still catch comments over me growing my hair out. And it's been several years since I cut it.
Right. And it bothered me on some level, but more than that, I used it as kind of a litmus test. Like if somebody is going to focus on that about me, then I don't have any room left to care about what their opinions are on anything.
Mm-hmm.
So Draco Funk, do you want to go through with the people how they can watch this along with us?
Well, we're watching this on Hulu. So what we've done on whatever device you're watching this on is we started the episode, waited till the Fox logo goes, the episode actually starts, and then pause it. Then hit that rewind 10-second button, and we're going to give you a countdown, and then you can hit your manipulator to start that episode, whatever it may be, right when we tell you.
And I've noticed there's been a difference in devices too. Like I use a Chromecast from my Android phone sometimes to watch these episodes. And I had trouble with one of the Orville episodes with when I would do that, the Fox logo would come back and then it would give me a loading screen 2 or 3 times in a row. So if that happens to you, we apologize. There's nothing we can do about it. Obviously, their player is their player. But, if you're watching this from the DVD, it shouldn't be an issue. And hopefully, hopefully it's not too much of a big deal for you to get on with it and to watch this with us.
I mean, if you do figure out a solution, let us know in the comments as well.
Please do. And let us know what your hairstyle is like in the comments and how old people think you are based on it. All right. This is the Orville Season 1, Episode 3, About a Girl. And we are beginning the episode in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
Inviting some hemorrhoids there.
Yes.
They look a little bit
unhappy.
Yeah, nobody's controlling the ship.
That's what the little people are for.
Oh, they have the blob guy up there flying it.
You can just sort of spread out and take care of everything.
Like, seriously, that was the entire command crew. Who was literally in command?
Have you noticed the consistency that, well, No, you haven't, because it doesn't apply yet. Never mind. I'm noticing how the control panels are a really interesting blend between like the Star Trek 6 panels and like the Star Trek Nemesis LCARS panels.
Well.
Wonder, should he like blob to be taller?
I kind of wonder like how many different forms can he morph into?
He's like the shittiest Odo.
Was ist das Mail?
So this episode aired sometime. Sorry,
Sometime last year, I guess.
the window came up and went back down. No, it originally aired September 21st, 2017.
Do you remember from the last time we recorded this what you were doing on September 21st, 2017? Because I don't.
No.
Okay, cool. What were you doing? One of these days, it's going to be a significant day and nobody's going to believe us. I did a thing that day! Bullshit.
It was a Sunday, so I probably had a rehearsal.
I remember I was working a lot at the point when this was coming out,
Yeah.
so I didn't get to catch it until like the next day. And that is back when my apartment still had, cable service that fell off the back of a truck, which has been corrected.
I was probably playing Stellaris all day. I really love that little bit of green in her hair matches her uniform. Your face is different than mine.
I wonder if she'd like treat him differently if he had ram's horns.
I mean, I really want him to have ram's horns.
Their holodeck programs are always more interesting.
Oh, I love their programs.
The stock sound effects.
Ah, well.
They have like 15 guys covering them.
Why did you go there before the regiment arrived?
I just love that Gordon is so unhinged. That's the way he designs programs.
Dude, I want to play his holodeck games so bad.
Yep.
Like, make the stuff in this episode for VR, like Fox. License the Orville branded VR games based on Gordon's programs, and you'll make bank. They're going to steal that idea now and actually do it, and I won't get a penny for it.
It's funny because the song is "Girls Just Want to Have Fun,"
And they're all men.
and this episode is about a girl.
They did a thing.
They did a thing there. Man, he got that desk back real fast after Alara smashed it.
Oh, do they have some sort of matter synthesizer then?
Yeah, like a reproducicator.
Yeah.
Hey, directed by Brandon Braga. That's a name that we know from Star Trek.
Yeah, imagine having names from Star Trek on a series.
I know, right?
Unlike what Star Trek is doing.
Doesn't Jonathan Frakes come in and direct an episode?
Of the Orville? I'm sure he directed a few.
Episode 5, I think.
Yeah. Wonder how long it takes to correct a cleft palate like today. If that's like a future tech makes it really fast thing, or if it actually is real quick. I have no idea.
I
They
don't
just
know.
take a pair of scissors.
Okay, well, there you go.
I'm completely making that up.
Yeah, they bring out the welder. Done. Circumcised with a plasma torch. That was a nervous laugh.
Yes, it was.
Is that different than like a phaser?
They haven't actually said what their weapons are. See, they were married and they divorced because she cheated on him, guys. Did you know
It's a
that?
blue guy.
Yeah,
Short dig I'm okay with. It didn't go into like a huge bit.
true. It's the same beam that helps Grandma down the stairs. That's an obscure reference.
Oh. Well, you know, they were talking about unwanted children earlier.
Oh.
I feel like I recognize that actor.
He looks kind of like a Cardassian there, just the way the camera has him framed.
I think that's why I recognize him. I think he played a Cardassian.
What was his name?
Kaybrack. Kaybrrak.
Kaybrack.
Portrayed by Lamont Thompson, who has been in...
He was on Enterprise.
Okay.
Ooh.
Cold Front as Alien Pilgrim.
There in the background, you can see the the model that doesn't quite match up with the Orville.
Mm-hmm. I still think that might have been the model from the pilot. I need to go back and look at the pilot and see if it's different.
Well, they eventually change it.
Oh, okay.
Like later on, it will change, but for right now, it's still.
Gotcha.
So maybe when they shot this episode, they didn't have, CGI finalized.
That could be. He does now. Stock footage.
Different bartender.
Yeah. Those cannabis plants.
Could be.
How do you think they get the stuff for the edible brownies?
True. The way that shot is framed, I really expect like something to smash through the window and kill them. Like the straight on shot. A camera. B camera. A camera. B camera. A camera. The handicapped one. Oh, wait. This was probably a really fun scene to film.
Have you noticed like shows have every now and then have like a fighting episode?
Yeah.
I honestly don't think The Next Generation did.
Well, maybe not the whole episode, but there were definitely violent points.
But I mean,
Well, there was the Tasha versus the racist planet episode.
That's true. Yeah.
I wasn't going to mention that one.
It doesn't exist, right?
So no, it never happened. There were no fighting episodes.
Deep Space Nine had the Worf episode where he was in that Jim Hadar camp.
Yeah.
Voyager had the, what is it? Holy crap.
Voyager had the Rock episode.
Yeah.
And beat it out of me or something.
Commercial break.
Yay!
We're back.
Yay! Sorry, Kermit the Frog. Yay!
I got beat up by a girl.
Yeah. I kind of like Clyden's wardrobe, actually.
I really want that jacket.
I know, like, I would wear that outfit. Like, no, not ironically at all. I mean, honestly, I would need to, like, bulk on my neck and shoulders a bit before I could wear the V-neck. But, you know.
I really want one of those holders.
Pretty sure I've seen them for sale.
I kind of want some beer in an aluminum can. Or aluminum bottle.
I mean, I've had the Bud Light that's like that, which, you know, it's Bud Light. Whatever.
I think they were doing that. You can do that with regular Budweiser too, and I think Bud Light Platinums came in that for a while. Do they still do Platinums? I haven't bought Platinums in a long time.
I don't know.
That was the thing I drank.
Hey, it's Christmas time. We're watching Rudolph.
It totally is. This is going to come out.
I mean, it's appropriate season.
It's coming out this 3 days.
Yeah, just a couple days from now, definitely.
And through the power of Christmas, his mind has changed.
Borta's heart
power
grew
of Rudolph.
Yeah, and Borta's heart grew 2 sizes that day.
So vaginas are not a disability.
Aha! Aw. Wait, they only brought 6 beers with them. After 3 each, well, no. After 2 each, they're incapable of caring for a child.
Well, we don't know if Bortus had any, really, right?
That's a good point.
And, you know, they might be like future beers, you know, like 25% ABV. You know?
That's true.
Space beer.
Yes.
Have a slimy day.
Kind of want that pillow too.
You know what I'm immediately noticing right now?
What's that?
This type of diction and acting is how the Klingons in Star Trek Discovery should be. Instead of
Ooh.
dun dun dun.
Which apparently they're revamping the Klingons for season
Commercial break.
since they were
Better.
kind of.
We're back.
And we're back.
Ah, there we go. Okay.
You know, that'd be kind of a hard thing to.
It would be a very difficult conversation to have. I'm sure there are a lot of like people with either transgender or just, you know, non-binary gender expressions or identities that really, really fear this kind of conversation. I mean, I'm sure they all do. Like, I'm sure it's a universal experience for them. That's a lie. Something that it took me way too long to learn was that when somebody lies to you, it's really not productive to get angry at them about the fact that they lied. You really have to think about why they did. That ship looks like something, and I can't think of what it looks like.
I was kind of thinking the same thing.
Yeah,
Kind of reminds me of the plasma rifle from Halo.
like that, and like the Romulan disruptor pistol, sort of.
Ah.
He's just passing him out?
I'll take a few.
Yeah, the Mochlans kind of remind me of a cross between the Klingons and the Hirogen.
Kind of.
Huh, I've never had that.
Sounds
Well,
intriguing.
You probably weren't born female, I assume.
I mean, as far as I know.
I mean, have you ever been to a doctor?
I'm always a car. I think the iron's like the second best one.
I think I was always the thimble, but I don't play Monopoly much.
It's a great way to have an argument.
It is. Do you not want friends anymore? Play Monopoly. We own a copy of Anti-Monopoly.
Ooh.
Yeah, you play as a government antitrust lawyer, and you try to litigate corporations into breaking up and reducing their market share. It's exactly as boring as it sounds.
Have you ever seen the Super Monopoly board?
No. Do I
I
want
need
to?
to find that.
Oh, there's also Monopoly for Millennials that makes fun of, young people not having upward mobility in their incomes.
It's just,
So
I wasn't a good mood.
Yeah, so they can right off on that one.
I wasn't in a good mood. Now I'm in a terrible mood.
I'm sorry, but you guys need to be aware of that.
Yeah, I mean, we brought it up.
Their planet's name is Mochlus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're Mochlans.
It's really close to that South Park alien, the Marklars.
It's probably exactly where I got the idea.
The humans from the planet Hummus.
Man, hummus sounds really good.
Oh man,
I
shouldn't record hungry.
Yeah, I even had some for lunch.
Oh, you bitch!
I know, right?
Chekhov's Marklin.
Chekhov's Mochlin. That's hard to say.
Yes. I kept wanting to say composer. Speaking of food, send your chili recipes to harrypottercrockpotrecipes@gmail.com.
We could do like a podcast where we talk about like slow cooker recipes, where we each do one, and then we just talk about it for a while and how they turned out.
Are you sure you want my crockpot recipes? It's like I got a couple cans of things and put them in the crockpot, and it turned out edible.
I think it'd be great. Like, honestly, I really do. Like, we have like, Draco Funk would like take time and go find stuff. I would just like go insane and like just try things, and then,
I'd be like, here's something simple that you can't fuck up.
Yeah, like ketchup and lentils. Why not? That might work actually.
No, there's a really simple one. It's you can buy the canned chicken. Buy like one of the big cans.
Yeah.
And then you get like a couple cans of like cream of chicken soup. You throw it all in the crock pot and let it go.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes very good shredded chicken.
See, and then I would boil up some egg noodles and just throw it on that.
Yeah, like right in your way.
Like right there.
Uh,
I like the Mocklins. Like they're really polite and accommodating, and really like stoic and hardcore at the same time. They're extremely masculine. There you go.
And may or may not try to explode people they don't like, though.
That sounds pretty masculine to me.
6.5 years. That's how long they've been together.
Okay.
what he's wearing does not look comfortable.
The big vest thing with the plate mail on it
Yeah.
looks pretty safe, though. Have you noticed that all of the Mocklins are played by black actors?
Maybe there's like another minority of Mocklins that we haven't seen yet.
That's true.
Maybe it's corrected at birth.
That could be. That leads us to a whole other interesting episode about them that we could have, like maybe in season 2 or 3.
I'm still confused about how their whole reproduction works.
They lay eggs.
I know that, but there's a part of that I'm missing.
I mean,
They're closely related to seahorses. I don't know.
if you don't like seahorses, you suck.
Seahorses rule. It's like a ball of foil.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like 1,000 degrees now. Oh god.
Now she no longer has hands.
Burning through the table.
Nah, the Salayans, make the most effective heat sinks in the universe.
Yes.
But good luck killing one to turn it into a heat sink.
Right. Their hair is actually like copper wire.
You should use a Salayan to cool your computer.
Yeah. Stand right here and blow in this end of the case.
Yep, I love Gordon.
He's great.
Just how he's like, yeah, I know what my shortcomings are. It's fine.
Yeah. This is a poorly designed test because memory recall is not a sign of intelligence.
Well, yeah.
Now, giving ridiculously stupid answers in lieu of recalling, maybe.
Oh.
Runaway replication is a property of cancer. Bill!
It sounds like a supervillain.
It
I really
does.
hope someday he doesn't get cancer because that would suck.
Bill Nye, the cancer guy.
Uh,
I love that little sneer when he said it. Penis.
wow, that's the most Cassidy Yates I've seen her.
It really is. I would disagree with that statement.
Yep.
If only she actually had studied the neurology of, the genitals and knew that she was wrong. Mm-hmm.
Well,
Oh,
we
yeah.
stand
How
up
are
and,
they
like,
going to get out of there, walking in front of everybody?
Yeah, right.
knock
I would-
you over the gavel?
I would really like to take a trip to the mountains. You guys want to go hang out in the mountains?
Yeah. I mean, I got to work tomorrow, so as long
Yeah,
as
me
I'm
too.
back by then.
Yeah.
I would have to travel very far to get to the mountains.
Yeah, slightly farther than I would. Okay, about twice as far as I would.
Depends on what mountains.
Yeah, true. Well, if we go to the ones that are like the midpoint for us, it's about twice as far for you all as it is for me. That sentence didn't really make any sense, did it?
Whatever.
You know what I meant.
I'm about 2.5 hours closer than Scrodrick.
Now you're at right now. I think you're only about 1.5 hours closer because he's not at his usual place.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Man, I want some catacombs.
Like some cat of honeycombs.
Yeah. That too.
The subtitle ruined it. If you have subtitles on, I apologize. We're back.
I would like to perform a dance routine.
You're going to solve this by a dance-off.
Yes.
That's what they should have done. Yeah, they should have tied that in. I kind of wonder who that actress is. Let's look her up.
Only there was some way to find out.
That's what I'm doing.
Rena Owen.
Yeah. One of only 6 actors in the world who worked with both George Lucas and Steven Spielberg. That's a good credit. And she's not black.
She was in Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
No wonder we don't remember her.
And Attack of the Clones.
We definitely don't remember. I have seen Attack of the Clones 3 or 4 times, and I've never gotten to the end of the movie with any memory of what happened. Ever. like 5 minutes after the movie was over, I could not tell you the plot every time I've watched it.
There was a plot?
There was. We're ruining this like really emotional speech here. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, shit.
Oh. She's a regular George Sand. She's a regular Mulan. Actually, she's more of a George Sand. She's literally George Sand, actually. My gavel sounds spherical now.
Now you have to wonder what happens to her now that she's revealed to society.
I would say she's rich enough not to worry about it, but, you know, this is a different planet where economics are different. I appreciate how honest all of the male Mocklins are. Like they have this masculinity that is also open, and it's very nice. It's refreshing. I mean, fucking pussy.
It's like the Mocklin hammer.
Yes.
You know, the use of the strings there was actually really powerful.
Mm-hmm. I was just thinking that the directing in general, this is very well done by Brandon Braga here.
Mm-hmm.
Even up to like the camera angle on the cube coming down, like that's a silly set piece, but it was used very, very effectively, and I like that juxtaposition.
Oh, it's Rudolph.
Yep.
And you get the, feels bad fly off at the end.
Yep.
Oh,
Well, what are your thoughts?
That's such a hard question.
It is, and I think that when you fail to come up with substance, you talk about the process that led you to that point, right? I think I think that speaks to the quality of this episode.
for episode 3,
Yeah,
that's what's amazing.
yeah. And I'm left with a sense of not of the sense of unease that comes from not knowing if there was a right answer to the question, and particularly with such a charged topic. We're in kind of the midst of a social revolution about gender expression. Whether you want to admit that or not, it is happening. And I say revolution with the understanding that a revolution is not always successful for either side. Revolutions fail.
Well, and there's definitely a pushback going on right now.
Absolutely. So I don't want anybody who's listening to this to suddenly turn off from what we're saying based on the fact that they don't agree with the direction it's going. Because, for one, I think it's too early to tell, but I also think that what's happening in our society in the 21st century now is a test of our long-held cultural opinions on these things. And it's certainly a much deeper level than what we were talking about earlier with, men with long hair and that sort of thing. At least from my perspective, that's not anywhere near the same sort of question. But I think that's why it's so poignant. Is not only is it relatable, intimately for everybody in both a personal expressive, a personal, we all have to find our own identity as we mature, but also in the sense that we're all aware on some level as to what's going on in the world at large, and how these questions are being tested, and how very strongly, opinions are held in either direction. And then all of that, and then this doesn't answer the question. This gives us no guidance about what should be.
Well, but a mark of good sci-fi, especially in the vein of at least old school Star Trek is it gets you thinking.
Exactly.
Because there are certain people that don't even think about this. They're so set in their ways that, that's just the way it is. And they've never questioned how they think.
And
so at least getting, people thinking about it is going to help.
Certainly. And it's what it gives an avenue to have the conversation. A safer, if not a safe, this is kind of a buzzword too, but a safe space just to have the discussion, just to vet the feelings and the ideas with one another. The three of us probably would not have had this conversation, without this. I mean, I don't think that we would have been incapable. It just wouldn't have come up, and you guys are two of my closest friends. I can't imagine lots of other people that, I would ever even mention opinions on this sort of thing with.
Well, you know what really makes me sad is I know there are some people who would go either way of the argument, watch this whole episode and not question their opinion.
Yeah. And I guess, at the end of the day, it's the questioning that is the valuable part, right? It's not whether you change your opinion necessarily.
Well, yeah, because you can, you can think it over. You either change your opinion or, you reaffirm it. But just getting it in the minds of people that maybe don't give it a second thought or, hadn't considered it because they hadn't run into that situation in their lives before.
Right.
Because, at least for, me being from a small town, my mother she hasn't seen this episode, but she did see like a later interaction between Bortus and Clyde. And at first she's kind of like, oh, that's, but afterwards she kind of thought it over and I'm like, that wasn't offensive, was it? And she's like, well, no, I guess not. So it got her thinking.
Right.
One thing, and I've actually witnessed this, not myself, but a friend of mine, a very close friend of mine, held a conviction and was very strong with it until he found himself in that situation.
Yeah.
And then he sat down and had to reevaluate the beliefs he held almost his entire life.
Yeah.
He had to sit down and, he came over to my house and sat down with me. And we talked for, I don't know how long. And he told me, this is all my beliefs. And I've always believed this. And I've always said this and this and this. And now I'm here.
Yeah.
and
all of that didn't prepare you for the fact that,
And what really scares me is there's a lot of people who think they know when they don't.
Mm-hmm. And fear is a powerful player in that. It's scary to have to change who you are, and I think it gets scarier as you get older. To change yourself. I certainly feel that way. I feel more comfortable in my opinions, and to a very real degree. Although I don't necessarily like to admit it, I feel a lot more proud of what I think. I feel pride and I feel ego about it. More than I did when I was younger because I've had more time to refine my opinions and my ideas. I like to think that I'm still flexible, but God knows, that's not something you can really assess objectively about yourself necessarily. And who knows what I'm going to be like in 10 years. I've said before on the show, and I'll say it again. The thing that scares me the most about aging is becoming one of those people in their midlife stages who refuses to listen to young people. Or blames the generation after them for all of their problems or the problems.
Oh, you're one of those people.
Yeah, and I've that would have been a good answer to the question earlier about being, judged or ostracized because of some outward expression or outward appearance. I'm the youngest member in my family by 20 years or so, and every time my two cousins who are in their 50s, ever introduce me to any of their friends, I get mocked for being a millennial, and it's like, first of, and it doesn't hurt me. I'm a grown man, I can take, being picked on about something by some idiot. By the way, cousins, some of your friends are idiots if you're listening to this. Just saying, some of your friends have been jerks about this. Not that I won't go hang out with him again, because again, I'm a grown man, I can handle it. But anyway, I just realized in the middle of this that they could totally be listening to this right now. But the point that I'm making is that, you know, like how dare you do that? Like how dare you invite someone to be social with you and then just pick them apart like that, or for something they can't control, and for something that has no basis in reality. Like, it's not my fault that your favorite restaurant closed. They made shitty food. You know, it's not my fault that, you know.
And when people have less disposable income, they're less inclined to go to places that suck. You know?
Exactly. You know, I'm not going to spend $40 at a restaurant that's a microwaved crap food when I can spend $30 at a local place that makes everything from scratch. Why in the world would I go to Applebee's? You know, like, and this is a real argument I've had with people in their 50s. Like, you know, like,
me as well.
Yeah, you know, I have a smartphone. I use it. You know, I know how to use it. I use it for things in my life. You know, when's the last time you turned off your TV, Mr. 60-year-old man? I mean, really, it's like,
oh,
and this is a totally different, you know, this is a totally different argument, and I'm way too far.
All right.
Yeah. But the point that I'm making is that it scares me to turn into that. You know, and I hope that my perspectives are always challenged, and I hope I'm always listening to them. I guess that's my whole point.
You know, I'm willing to admit that there are things I don't know.
Of course.
And I'm willing to admit that sometimes I have to reevaluate myself.
Yeah.
That I've caught myself saying, you know, you don't really need to be doing that. Like, well, wait a minute.
Yeah. And
that's exactly what people in the previous generation told me, and now I'm thinking it too, and I'm like, that's why now I feel old.
Yeah. Well, every time I see, you know, a pre-teenager, you know, someone 10, 11, 12 years old who has an iPhone or something like that, you know, my reaction is like, oh God, what do they need that for? And then I think, well, the same thing I need it for. You know, they communicate with people with it. This is the way that people access media nowadays. You know, this is there's, you know, and not only that, but, you know, a kid that age, you know, a kid who's 12 years old today was born in 2006. You know, right? Like not only are those children, like, not only were they born after the, you know, the ubiquity of the internet, they were born after dial-up internet was a thing. They were born into broadband, always on, completely connected, fast, accessible, multimedia internet with powerful computers. And, you know, like, a kid that was born in 2006 was 2 years old when the first iPhone was released. So of course they have one, you know, like,
because it's been around like their entire conscious life.
Legitimately. Yeah. Like, you know, like, of course they have it, you know, why would I criticize that? It's what they are, you know, it really, really is. So I don't know. I'm ranting on a topic I didn't expect to get into, but I guess I just don't want to. I try to police myself a lot and try to keep an open mind, and I really hope other people do, and I really hope this episode helps. There you are.
That was a very powerful piece of sci-fi.
It absolutely was.
Which, you know, they should be proud of that accomplishment.
Mm-hmm. And I think I was joking a bit about the directing early, you know, with the A camera, B camera thing. I'm reevaluating that decision now and that opinion. Go me! I'm still reevaluating my opinions, but because I think that the simplicity of all of the cinematography really kept the focus on, you know, those bigger concepts. You know, you were looking, you know, bold-faced at a human being or an alien or whoever who is soul-searching and questioning everything they've ever thought about the most fundamental parts of their own existence. We don't need flashy camera angles or action or even particularly notable music cues, you know, and that's coming from a musician. You know, we don't need that. We have all we need in the story. So kudos to Brandon Braga for not distracting us from that. I'm very, very well done. What was the IMDb rating on this one again, Drake?
7.8.
7.8. Well deserved, certainly. I think up to this point, this is the highest rated episode of anything we've watched, not counting the one that comes after this that we already watched because we're re-recording this one. So next week, join us for episode 4, which has an even higher rating than this, and by many accounts is an even better episode. That was a good segue. I didn't intend at all.
Yeah, and have fun figuring out my mic quality changes.
Absolutely. If you think you can guess where Scrodrick is, let's not go there. I was going to say what type of room he's in. We'll go with that. If you can guess what type of room Scrodrick is in by the way his microphone sounds, then post a message in the comments. Please don't put his home address there or something.
Let's see. There's a switch on this microphone.
Uh-huh.
Let's see what happens when I flip the switch.
All right.
Okay, so there is one setting. I don't know if it changed at all.
Yeah, you're a lot quieter.
Okay. And then here's an omnidirectional pickup, I do believe.
Yeah, that you don't want that in that room.
Yeah, because it is a kind of large room. So
okay. Yeah, you want a cardioid shape if you can possibly get it for this.
I do believe that's what this is.
Yeah.
So
yep. All right. Well, I think that's all we got for you tonight, folks.
Have a good one.
All right. See you on down the road.
Don't fake the funk. Don't fake the Draco funk. He's real.
And he's probably eating some chili right now.
Probably is. Sounds good. All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Draco says good night, too.
Good night, too.
He loves all of you.
Yes.